Hello, my name is Sarah, and this is my second video. Um, Again, I started this channel to basically document my life, my journey to becoming a person that I trust, a person that I can rely on. Because I've noticed over the years, um, I've just not been able to rely on myself. I've not been able to be accountable to myself, if that makes sense. I constantly, I feel like I keep my promises, or I'm more likely to keep my promises to other people, to work, but not able to do that for myself for some reason. Earlier today, I actually broke down and cried because I'm thinking about all the time in my life that I've started over and over and over again. It's been because I've not trusted myself. I've not been able to keep my word to myself. But it's easier for me to keep my word to other people. It's easier for me to I think I was just thinking about it, and I think the reason that is because I care so much about what other people think of me. I care so much about people seeing me as a reliable person, but I'm not reliable to myself. And I think I see people's needs as urgent, or like work, like what's happening in the classroom, as something that's urgent. Me being there is important. I just see those things as urgent, but for me, when I let myself down or when I don't show up, I don't know how to say it. I get mad at myself, of course, and I get very hard on myself, but I somehow still repeat the pattern. I still continue to let myself down. But when I drop the ball at work, or I were to drop the ball with a friend, I guess the impact is immediate, or the consequences are immediate. But if I were to let myself down, I guess it's not as immediate. For example, when I don't go to the gym, when I've told myself, like, be more consistent at the gym, if I drop the ball and don't go to the gym, then like the consequences, or I don't see the negative effect immediately, because it's something that you see later on, when because now I'm 36 and I'm realizing, damn, like I've not been able to consistently keep up with something that I've something that I like, a hobby or something that I've done for myself, and I've been consistent at it. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but just to give you an example, at church, I did my best to be consistent at evangelizing, and immediately after work, going home, not even going home, sometimes immediately after work, meeting up with people, going to evangelize, like to the mall, and spend hours like evangelizing, and then go straight to church for service, or for a Bible study, or for whatever event that's happening that night, and then getting home like close to like midnight. And I was doing these things because I wanted to be noticed for being diligent, for being a good servant, for following God's words, for being obedient to my leaders. I was just doing things because I am noticing that I enjoy the immediate, or not necessarily immediate, but I enjoy the being recognized, but not in like a show off type of way, but I guess deep down I just like I care about how people see me as a good person, if that makes sense. But I want to change that. I want to do that for myself. I want to care about how I see myself. I want to care more about keeping promises to myself, because at the end of the day, I am all I've got. When, like, I don't have church anymore. I'm friends with a couple of people from church. Actually, not a couple. I think maybe just one. And all of these people have faded away. They're no longer in my life. They're no longer reaching out to me. These people are gone. These people that I've tried to please and do things for, they're no longer in my life. Once I've left the church, that was it. That was it. So I want to keep promises to myself, because there's so many things that I want to do. I want to be proud of myself. I want to be able to look back in life and say, I've taken advantage of the time that God had given me, if I'm looking back, but had given me, right? I want to be able to say that I've explored things that I've wanted to explore. I've done things that I've wanted to do. I didn't take my body, my physical health for granted. I started the business that I wanted to start, or I started and I started the hobby that I wanted to start, or I found a community that I am a big part of and I enjoy, and I'm not being taken advantage of. I'm rambling because I did find a community at church, but I also felt like I was taken advantage of. I want to be able to be more, I guess, like, know when I'm being used, and know when to leave. Recognize when I'm being used, and know when it's time to just leave the party or leave. So if I were to find a community where, like, I feel like it's just a brainwashing type of community, I'll have enough discernment to know, okay, now it's time for me to leave. It's done. I don't know how I got to there, but I guess I say all of this to say that I want my words to myself to have value, and I want to keep promises that I've made to myself. And again, I go back to, this is the reason why I started this channel, so that I can keep these, so that I can see if I've made the steps towards trusting myself, and that's by being consistent and doing the things that are going to benefit me in the long run, that's going to benefit me, my life, and the future, in the now, etc. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I would love to connect with anybody who's at a starting over point in their lives, and right now I'm actually looking for, I have a full-time job, but I've got a lot of loans, I have student loans that I have to pay back, and the amount that I'm going to have to pay back monthly I'm not going to be able to, like, save for the future and still pay rent and all my other expenses, and still be able to save for the future and have, like, a emergency saving and so on, and investment and all that stuff. I wouldn't be able to do that while still paying all my bills and my student loan, my tuition. So I will have to start doing something on the side in addition to my full-time job. And yeah, I want to I want to update you on things that I'm doing in my life to be consistent with my goals and my dreams, my hobbies, everything that is good for me. All right, subscribe if you want to hear me talk. um, Subscribe and like the video if you want to hear me just talk about random things about my life, you know. And I will check you out if you have a video, and or if you have videos on your channel, and connect with you and find something that I can connect with you on, or whatever. I'm gonna end it here. And I initially said I'm gonna do a video per week, but I'm just going to do as many as I can per week. But my goal is to do at least a video a week. That's my goal, a video a week. But it could be more based on what's happening in the week, based on if I have something to document, right? All right, bye bye. Have a good time. Have a good time. I don't know.